right now. And let's see what happens. I'll kind of find different spaces, and I might hang out in different spaces and develop ideas according to the inspiration that might not be as traditional. And like I said in the message, I think it's great if you did whatever kind of process work you want. You can sit and listen and try to feel these centers of the raga in your being. We're going to walk through the deity like we did last time in the first part of the meditation. And then after that, I think that as long as the sound is the train of, is sort of the train of thought in a way, the sound is leading the train of thought, then anything else that comes up, whether it's drawing or, like I said, even cooking, whatever, then I would say let's just see where it goes. And I encourage you all to do that. So again, just to clarify, so there's no confusion about what you're hearing, this sound, everybody can hear that? This is just a digital representation of a stringed instrument that would be played as an accompaniment. And Shana, you saw in the pictures, actually, there was one picture, Shana was playing, it's called the Tanpura, and she was playing that with me on stage. I don't have one here, otherwise she'd be playing it. We sort of sometimes settle for the electronic, which is becoming standard, but it's also problematic in many ways, but it will do the job right now. So the drone is going. So let's, yeah.
The drone is a little low.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that better? If I'm playing? And so if I'm talking, can you still, is it still a good balance? Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to, let's take the first 5 minutes and we'll just do that, meeting the sonic deity meditation, and then let's open it up to however you want to process the music. So if you can sit in a firm and stable position, feet on the ground, and just concentrate on your breathing. And just follow your breath and let go. And relax. And allow your breath to settle into a regular rhythm. Deepening with each breath. Listen to the sound of the breath. Bring your awareness to the sound of your breath. Then become aware of the sounds around you. Bring your attention to the whole sonic canvas in which you are sitting within. Whatever arises, observe it arising and dissipating, and return to the center of the breath. Next, bring your attention to the tanpura, the drone that will become our ground for the meditation. Concentrate on the sound of the drone. Feel the drone in your body, wherever it arises. Extend that feeling throughout your body until the drone is your body. Now I will introduce you to the sonic deity of the morning. Center yourself in the lower abdomen, in the root chakra, or the Dantian center, whatever comes naturally. And listen from there. bring your awareness to the heart center. And we will become familiar with another limb of this sonic deity and listen from the heart center. Now bringing your awareness to the throat center, meeting the third limb of the sonic deity as it resides in the throat center. And then bring your awareness to the crown, the head, and the deity completes itself in the fulfillment of the upper octave. Let the music move through these different centers as I slowly come from the top chakra down to the lower chakra. Back to the heart. encourage you to follow the music in whatever way you feel as the deity unfolds and develops itself within you. This will go on for at least half an hour. If everybody could come back to a seated posture and concentrate on the breath. Bring to a close all that you were doing or not doing. And we'll consciously say farewell to our sonic deity. Starting at the crown of the head and moving downwards with the music.
Yay.
Hmm. Everybody have a good journey, I hope.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jonathan.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for doing that with us.
So tomorrow morning, same time, same place.
Oh, yeah, every day. I sort of got pulled into the mood, so it went the way it went. It was pretty long, but I hope everybody found a process that worked with that.
It was gorgeous. Thank you.
Does
so much.
anybody have anything they want to share about that, or they don't have, you don't have to.
Nothing particular I want to share from my experience because I'm processing that, but I just appreciate you, and you can tell you're very passionate about this work, and I just thank you for giving this gift to us. So thanks.
Thanks, Caitlin. Well, the gift is that the Raga comes when you, if you surrender to it, and you know, that's what I love. Yeah, it's very, very, it is, this music is definitely a gift, I find. I'm happy to share it. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Lee, if you were going to say something.
Sorry, I didn't jump in there both together. I was just gonna say my experience of that was really enjoyable, and I first started like, well, maybe I'll draw while you play, but then I actually was like, I just want to watch you play. Like that was like a much deeper way to enjoy the music. So then it made me think about how even more powerful that would be to be in person and not over Zoom. And so, yeah, because it was really like felt neat to watch your facial expressions and your movements as you played, and like deepen with the raga in that way. So I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Thanks, Lee. Yeah, there is something about, I mean, there's obviously a lot about being in person, that affective kind of resonance that you can get into. That was basically the reason why, when after listening to enough Raga music and feeling like, before I went to India, like when I was a jazz musician and I was loving this Raga music, and I just, as a musician, know that if you really want to experience what's happening, a recording will take you a percentage of the way, but you just have to go and sit at the feet of these masters, and there is something about being in person, the idea that the music changes the whole vibration of the room in such such a strong way, and so when I would go, even for like just for classes with my guru, I mean, he would just be able to bring that kind of that atmospheric transformation on a regular basis, like he's a master. It's just at will, you know what I mean? So that was the environment that I was in, and it never ceased to amaze me. And it didn't matter how I was feeling going into that class. If I was feeling a little tired or depressed, or if I was super happy, like it didn't matter how I felt. I came in, and then you sit with the music and the whole room transforms. Everybody starts, and it just like you all start to just, you start to be in tune with each other, and you can be what you are, but it brings you into a new space, and it just seems to smooth everything out, and you start to feel everybody else much more deeply. And whatever you went in there with, you ended up leaving with something, with that, but also with something just so much more greater, it seems. So in that way, it is like a collective practice in a way. Even though it's solo music, I'm sitting here doing the music as a solo, but it's like there's always an altar, right? In the way I learned. So that's the collective thing, even if it's just an altar, but there's always a tanpura player, or there's other people, and they're just as important in the whole ritual,
Thanks for sharing that. That's really beautiful to hear about. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you as well, Jonathan. I think it's just such a I too feel your passion for it, and it's a gift that's meant to be shared, and I'm just so grateful for you sharing, and I really appreciate this piece of, you know, the co-creation of the space of, like, you know, the vibration of the music and the instrument and what's coming out of that, what's coming out of you, what everyone is, you know, putting in with wherever they are, you know,
Mhm.
in the moment of how they're experiencing it. And it's just a collaboration of so many elements of what's going on. And yeah, and I'm just grateful, you know, in my own personal experience, because sometimes it's really hard for me to sit still. So I feel like sometimes this, you know, music, and especially what you played today, just really helped me stay still and just really feel how the music is like running through my body. And I'm
Mm.
just sensing this way of like rewiring and retuning and, like, you know, re-knowing, you know, parts of my body that I don't know what's going on, and then other areas where I'm like trying to feel into what's going on, because I just feel it. I felt it very deeply, moving and
Mm.
doing its work of whatever it's doing, and me just being present to it, you know, not even needing to know, perhaps. But
Sure. Yeah.
so thank you so much for sharing.
Great. Yeah. No, my pleasure. Speaking about like sitting still or like settling, you know, like classes generally would be like 4 hours long, and there would be a marble floor, you know, and you'd come in, it'd be a small room, and it would just be packed with students. So you'd have like this much space, you know, like you're sitting there.
You just need to send them a picture.
Yeah, there's a
because-
picture that, yeah, the pictures will sort of describe this scene, but literally you're just sitting there, and then you start aching, and then you say, oh, fidgety, and then, but you just have to keep focused on the sound, you know, and the sound will, it takes time, it takes practice, but after a certain amount of years, then it's just like, once the music starts, it's just like, phew, and then you're there, and it's like, you can be there for 4 hours. And I mean, it would be hard for me now to do a 4 hour stretch like that, because I'm not in 4 hour practice. It's like a discipline that you have to keep up too, you know. If you're a marathon runner, but you don't run a lot of marathons, it would start to challenge you again, right? But it's something that we have to keep, I guess we keep in mind, and we try to keep ourselves trying to work towards our limits all the time. I just have to read too much for this course. I mean, I'm joking. No, that's true, actually.
Yeah, speaking of reading, I generally, especially when you're playing, I just sit and listen. I love also just watching your hands and your expressions. But I've been reading the Mahabharata, and I decided to read.
Oh, nice.
So I've gone back, and I'm really just at the beginning, 3,500 pages. I'm still around page 100, but as I was reading, I was just, you know, feeling the music, this kind of almost serpent-like quality to the music, and I'm reading about serpents at the beginning, and this extraordinary quality and way in which this one story leads into another, and it's a very simple narrative, and yet there are so many layers that are happening. And I was feeling that with the music at the same time. So that was a pretty remarkable experience to do both, and to actually be able to be present for both.
Yeah, that's amazing. Beautiful. The Mahabharata is like, it's like the whole family of ragas, and you're just sort of, you're like, the stories just weave families together, people together, and that's awesome. Yeah, that's sort of what that's a great analogy. I never thought of that. Like, the Mahabharata is sort of like you're sitting in the middle of just an epic collection of families and stories, and ragas are the same way. It's like, once you learn, you know, like you start off by learning one raga, which would be sort of like reading, you know, you start with the Gita, you just learn the Gita inside and out. And I learned my first raga for 1 year. Literally every day I practiced the same set of notes, 7 notes for 1 year. And I kept on thinking to myself, I'm going to get really bored with this if he doesn't give me another raga. Because as a jazz musician, we're so used to just picking up new things all the time, doing new things, but staying in one place. It's more like being a blues musician. A blues musician would stay in their blues, you know, blues scale, blues modes their whole life. And that's sort of like a raga musician. But for 1 year, and every day I would wake up and be so inspired and would get so energized by this raga. I did this raga Todi that I played today. I did this for over a year as basically as like a second raga. And then you learn more and more, and it's sort of like learning the first tune you learn, or like, you know, Kaylin, you're learning a song on guitar, right? I was telling you how the first jazz tune I learned, the first song you learn, it'll take you a hell of a long time. And then each one after that takes you less and less and less time until you can like learn a tune in like a minute, you know? So ragas are sort of like that. Like after I learned like the first 3 or 4 ragas, and I learned the next 10 more efficiently. And then the next 10 after that, much more efficiently. And so after learning like maybe 70 or 80, 75 ragas, it's like you're just constantly surrounded by these, you know, these deities, these figures, and however they sort of come. And sometimes I will have prepared for a concert, and that raga just won't necessarily be there, and something else will come. And I've had to be like, oh no, I'm switching everything because that raga it just wasn't there, you know? And I think that's the ideal of a raga musician, is that you don't plan before you sit. You sit, you feel the room out, you feel where you're at, you feel the atmosphere, where the sunlight is, or what kind of clouds are there, what kind of night it is. And the raga will come in that moment, and then you start playing. And that's sort of like a properly prepared raga musician. But that's sort of like sitting in the middle of the Mahabharat, and just whatever story, whatever page you open to, it just sort of comes, and then you're in the middle of it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, for me, with my limited understanding, it's a tale of dharma, right? So there is this current, this river that's flowing beneath the surface. So the surface has all this really fascinating stuff that's happening. I mean, the color and that's the right word, but all of the amazing substance of the story, and yet all of that dissolves into this river of dharma, which is flowing beneath it. And it's the same with the rag. You know, it's like each of them has a different color, has a different flavor, and yet they're all kind of arising out of this same source. And if I can put in a plug for the students that are here, it's the same thing with studying, you know, especially if you come to a place like CIIS, but anywhere that you go to study, there is this kind of river of energy that undergirds everything, from which all of our ideas and all of our thoughts and all of our learnings flow. And can you look at your educational experience as similar to learning ragas, you know, that you're learning how to not manipulate, but kind of, what would you call it? Kind of like not control, but contain.
Just be intimate with
the energy that's moving through the endeavor.
It's like a cocoon is what I visualized when you were talking. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. Growing
Yeah,
within that cocoon.
Like weaving a net, and out of and that's the knowledge, out of something that's much deeper than that. And every time Jonathan plays, I'm just mindful of that, the deep well from which this is coming, and that Jonathan acts as kind of a conduit for that.
Yeah, I was talking to some people. Like, I was actually curious to ask if you guys have time. I mean, I know we're sort of going here, but the mood, if it's just even one word, just like there's no right or wrong. I'm just curious how people perceive this, especially if you're not used to this kind of music. Like, what are a couple words about the mood that came up? Silence is a good answer too.
I don't know if I could use one word, but I guess just, you know, the deep unknown.
Poetic, love it.
I guess I'll go. I'm getting like invigorating calmness. So that's how I'm feeling. I don't know.
Yeah. That's holding a paradox. I love that.
Lopa in the chat says solemn,
Solemn.
like pair of Shiv.
Yeah, I guess for me, it felt like almost like an exploration, like a playful exploration in some parts of it.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
yeah.
That's definitely there.
Yeah, I just felt the depth and complexity. That was, yeah, really remarkable.
Hmm. I remember when I was curious about how this music was perceived, and I was living at, I was staying at my home, my family home, and my grandma was there, who has never really heard this music much, but I was practicing it in the basement, and she was asking me about it, and she said, it all sounds the same. I was like, oh, well, I play the same thing for like all day. So it's the same, you know, but there's so many different colors and moods, and like, I wanted to show her. So there's these 3-minute recordings. Really, like, I just played for an hour. So condense that into 3 minutes, which is possible if you know if you know the architectonics of a raga. Remember that strange word I kept on using? That's architectonic. How can you take a seed and play it for 3 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, right? All the relations, everything that I played, it would be completely recognizable. You'd say that's the same thing, but it's sort of like, rather than painting a whole canvas, it was just like a little postcard, you know. And I played 12 different 3-minute ragas, all in different ragas, different modes, different moods. And my grandma was like, and I really trusted her, you know, what she was hearing, because she's really doesn't have much of a connection. So she's quite a blank slate in terms of like, well, whatever comes up is not programmed to say, oh, Indian music is this, it's this, you know. And she said, it all sounds the same to me. I was like, what do you mean? How is that possible? She said, it all sounds like this deep yearning and this deep pathos. And that's what she said. And I was like, all right. And I started thinking about it, and the whole mood. Like, then I started realizing, you know what, there is a very similar underlying mood of the whole music, the whole like disposition towards this music. You know, it's like a prayer. It's like a surrendering to deity. It's like a calling out. It's like a sadness of separation, right? And so I think that's what I would say the meta narrative would be of this music, is this yearning for have a division between the one and the many, right? Like the yearning for the one and the, so it can be a yearning, it can be like a compassion, or a like a deep sadness or pathos, but it's all this kind of like a yearning, or being solemn is a great one that Lopa said too. But I don't know, it seems that's like the underlying emotion that I've experienced anyway, as a practitioner of this.
You had said that when we were just talking before folks came on, that this was described to you as kind of the yearning of a lover whose lover or wife or husband or something has been missing the whole night, and you know that they're with someone else. So that it's that kind of yearning, and that's also that longing for union from what you've been separated from.
Absolutely.
So how is that the Ras is different if it's somebody that have experienced union with than it would be for somebody that you haven't yet experienced union with. So there are kind of very fine grades of emotion.
Oh, beautiful. That's amazing. Beautiful. Yeah. So that's what we were talking about. The composition that I didn't play, but I was practicing, is the lyrics are literally very human and very emotional, whereas some of the other lyrics of different compositions are very like cosmic, or like, you know, based on like the divine or the beloved, whereas this more human level emotion was like, yes, the composition is saying, I stayed up all night and now the sun is arising and you haven't come home, and I know you're with another lover, and I can't bear this knowing that you are with somebody else, and I just want you to come home. You know, it's like, this is the lyric, you know, which that's a beautiful point, Stefan. Is yeah, it's a different type of emotion, a different kind of yearning.
Right, and if you hear that as a kind of a metaphor or a symbol of the separation from God, you know, why have you forsaken me? In the Jewish tradition, you know, the Song of Songs, is essentially a very secular sounding poem that's plunked down into the texts of the Bible, of the Jewish Bible. And yet thousands of years, a couple of thousands of years of textual exegesis on that, where people are looking at this as essentially a song or a poem or a story of the longing for the union with the divine, have made it maybe the most important text of the non-Torah texts in the Bible. But you find that in all the traditions, these very secular images. And then if you enter into them in a certain mood or in a certain way, you see that all of our lives are just symbols for that dance between us and the divine. And so everything that's happening to us in our lives actually is pointing towards that.
Beautiful. Wow.
Or not. Maybe nothing means anything. Anyway, thanks, Jonathan. I gotta go. Get
Yeah, thank you guys. It's been amazing. Really.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye,
I'm so
everyone.
glad we did this. This was such an
Yeah.
extra treat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do one. Devashish was sad he couldn't come because it didn't line with his schedule. But I said we would do something at the end of the semester as like a going away kind of, and we'll coordinate it with everybody so that.
And then we'll just do every Friday morning ragas, and then
I could get up at 7:30 and do my practice and have Zoom on, and if anybody wants to have it on in the background while they're waking up, that would be fun.
that would be good.
Well, if you want to do it, just let me know.
7:30.
You ready, Jonathan?
7:30.
To commit to that? Your week?
Make it one.
I'd have to go to bed at like 8 in the evening.
What?
Hmm?
How many hours do you need?
Need a lot of hours.
Thank
I'll consider
you.
it. That'd be wicked though. Morning practice again. I need to get on Kaylin's schedule. 5:30 yoga.
Yeah. Yep. 5:30. I'll wake you up.
All right.
Okay, I love you all. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jonathan.
Yeah. Thanks
Lupa.
for being here. See you guys.
Jonathan, thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
Take good care.